Hey everyone, Ronnie here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy 2020. I cannot believe it's already the new year. Feels like 2019 has flown by, and now we're into the new year, new decade, and now it is time for the Soaring 20s. Personally, my 2020 has been going decently well for the most part. During the first week, I actually got my wisdom teeth out, all four, and so I've been recovering since, but now it's been a couple weeks, and now I'm finally to get back in front of the camera. I'm so excited. Just going to do a quick little recap of my 2019, but also while doing that, I am finally now in a place to start playing with makeup. My cheeks have gone from chubby cheeks down to nice, slim, and cut. So now I'm going to play with some makeup and reminisce about my 2019. If I'm being completely honest, I was actually not exactly sure what I was going to do for this first video. I wanted to do so much as a combination of talking about 2019, playing with makeup, signing a song, so much to do, but yet it's just the new year, so I know I have time. But for now, like I said, I'm just going to reminisce and talk about my 2019 while playing with makeup. First, I'm actually going to be going in with the primer by e.l.f., the Illuminating Primer. But just like everybody else, 2019 had a lot of its ups and downs, but mostly I think I had a decent amount of ups, just a few lows, but not as many as I'm sure a lot of people, and I don't mean to speak ill, it's just a lot of people have different experiences, different ways they can interpret their 2019, and mine was, like I said, good for the most part. Starting off the new year, I was promoted at my job at Fossil. I'm currently now a third key manager there, and I've been loving it ever since. Just to be able to step up, assume that new role, and help my team out. And since then, we've been soaring. Me and a few others actually got promoted, and since then, the whole management team has shifted, and now it's so much stronger and so much better. And I am so excited for how far we've come. But along with being promoted at work, it does come with its own stressors. Personally, I never wanted to become a manager, though stepping into this role where I was already really confident as an associate with my skills, my knowledge of the business. And so assuming this role as a third key, it just made sense personally, and I had a lot of support around me. My boss especially, he really pushed and supported me through this, and I'm very thankful to have him for this. He's pushed me for my limits for better and worse, but ultimately for the better, and I absolutely love him for that. Now I'm going to be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me in the tone 315 Soft Honey. It is actually the closest I've gotten to my skin tone, and you'll see why. A lot of people, when doing makeup, it is hard to match their skin tone, and I definitely see how people can go from looking natural to looking darker or lighter. So I want to find that natural, just my skin tone without having too much dark tones or lighter tones. But along with work, got a little bit more on the lighting. Um, Along with work, I had celebrated actually the new year in 2018, just not soon after, but a few months later after moving into my new apartment, I actually met someone, and we've been dating for now over a year. And to ring in the new year, I hung out with his family. His name is Scott, actually. I had rung in the new year with his family and friends, which was really fun. It was something different because I've always personally been in school and never had the chance to really be outside of the college life. And so this was a nice change personally for me. And it's great because now since adulting, quote unquote, it's good to broaden your horizon and to meet different people. And these people welcomed me with open arms, and I absolutely love that. Also, part of January, during the earlier part, we actually went down to Foxwoods to celebrate my boyfriend's mom's birthday. So we went down to Mohegan with me, Scott, the parents, and his sister and her boyfriend, now fiance. Congratulations. And it was definitely a lot of fun. I hadn't been down in some time, and it was really good to get back because my mom actually used to bring my younger brother and myself down for different shows and just to hang out, have fun. And I hadn't been back since, so it was really good getting back there. Oh, see, it's actually not looking too bad. So that was good fun. Spent a little bit more than I would have liked to, but then again, it's a casino and you got to expect to lose some. But personally, I tried to stay to blackjack, messed around with a couple other games, and lost some money. But again, overall, it was a great time. Along with going to the casino, of course, because it's winter and I am such a mountain man, especially coming from school, being a skier, snowboarder, loving the slopes, hating the snow, I went to Waterville. So it was a group trip that Scott and I had gone on with a few of his friends, cousins, and family. And again, incredibly fun. It was probably the one time actually I think we went skiing just because of our lives being busy. And it's hard for me personally to get weekends off being a retail manager, which some of you may know, but it is incredibly hard to actually have a social life and time for yourself. Foundation is done and it's actually looking pretty good. I'm going to move on to the eyebrows. Towards the end of the month, it actually got pretty busy. My birthday was actually at the end of the month. But before that, I actually went to the Winter Wine Spectacular with Scott. It's this event that's hosted in Manchester, seems like every year, and you go around tasting a bunch of wines from around the world, and it was great. Got to actually meet Gina Gallo of the Gallo family and John Charles, who have the biggest wine dynasty in the country, I believe, according to Scott, wine connoisseur who was actually teaching me as we go. But it was really fun to meet them. It was great to be able to go and experience this different kind of culture. I've never personally been a wino, but throughout the years, living with my mom, now being with Scott, like you learn a few things, different ways wine is made, how it's fermented, and just the different processes of how wine is made from the vineyard now onto your table and in a glass and soon to be in your stomach. For the eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil. These a couple that I actually got at Ulta last year, and they've definitely helped with defining the eyebrows and making them look snatched. And I am just going to be going in and brushing these out so that way they can get nice and elongated. Towards the end of January, I did celebrate my birthday. I turned 25 for a quarter of a century, and yes, I was reminded of it. So I just took some me time, went down to Boston, and actually just roamed around a little bit. Boston being one of my favorite cities in New England, and I always love going back there, especially during the winter, just being around the city and going throughout the park. Funny enough, actually, I was walking on the ice. It was frozen enough, but what I didn't realize was how thin it was. Funny enough, I actually heard the ice cracking, and before I could even react, I found myself up to waist high in water. I quickly jumped up. I was able to dry myself off, for the most part, get my electronics all set, and I actually got an Uber ride back to my car where it was parked. I took off my pants, socks, and boots, put them by the heater, by the foot heater, and just blasted it. And honestly, within a half hour, I was out and ready to go. This had actually all happened before noon, and so there's no way I was going to let that ruin my birthday, so I just continued moving on. So that was my birthday for 2019, and it was definitely a trip. Then moving into February, not too much going on, work as usual and just living my life. But about a year ago, in my fraternity, we had lost a brother. Um, if most of you don't know, I'm assuming his name was McKenzie Leno. He was part of my fraternity, Sigma Tau Gamma, at Plymouth State University, where I did my undergrad. And it was back during the time when the flu was worse than what it should have been. It was honestly killing people, and that's why it makes me so scared now, even to get the flu shot. I haven't gotten in the past couple of years for that reason alone. In short and sweet, what happened, and I don't like usually talking about this, is he had contracted the flu while we were on break, and this was semester break. And so this was around January, February, so just after my birthday of 2018. And so he had contracted the virus, and for whatever reason, it kept progressing. It didn't seem to stop, and with whatever the doctors were doing, he eventually had to be transported down to his home state in Rhode Island, specifically closer to Providence for the doctors. And it just seemed that whatever they were giving him, it didn't work, and it just kept progressing further. His organs had shut down, and a lot of complications had happened, but ultimately, they just felt it was good to let him go in peace instead of putting him through the pain, which I totally commemorate. it wasn't until a little bit later that the funeral was brought to our attention. And so I, being one of the alumni advisors at the time of my fraternity, I quickly gathered up all the brothers. I got us down to Providence for the funeral, got us all in a motel, and we were all set because there's no way we're going to let a brother's family suffer like that and not show our support. We ended up going down with about 15 to 20 of the brothers and a few of the sisters from our sister sorority. So definitely had a big support team for McKenzie because, like anybody, he's family, and that is something that will never change. It's not looking half bad. But anyway, with that going on in 2018, it definitely took a turn for the worst. And then we all had gone back up to Plymouth to reminisce about him, tell stories, and just remember the good old times. So that was part of February. It was a hard time, but we always make it through because we're a strong knit group and we always show support for each other. Also, part of February, I had the pleasure of actually taking some pictures at my aunt's wedding. She had gotten remarried, and she had actually asked me if I could do the photography while my younger brother does the DJing. So, of course, you get the best of both worlds, having nephews that are gifted in both. So I caught a few new snaps that are actually going to be showing up right here. It was a great time. I was able to see family that I hadn't seen in a long time, and Scott was able to meet a bunch of people, and I was very happy for that. Of course, they welcomed him with open arms just because they've seen how crazy I am about him, and it was just a really fun night. It was different, but good at the same time. It was just great being able to see family that I hadn't seen, and just being able to dance the night away, take pictures, do what I do, and I absolutely just had a blast. I definitely think the hardest part about doing brows is that people always say they're supposed to be sisters, not twins, and that is so true. I don't know if you guys can really see, it's just really hard, especially if you get that last edge on and just to make it look cut and not as bushy as most men eyebrows are. But that's the beauty of makeup and being able to paint your face is that if you make a mistake, you can erase it and redo it. That's what I love. Towards the end of February, a few of Scott and I's friends, specifically Zach and Nick, they welcomed a few new Frenchies into their family. We had just gotten word that they had adopted a couple of puppies, and of course we had to go over and play. They're in the same town, which is great, city, and it was great to go over, see them. We hadn't seen the guys in a while. They're busy with their lives, and of course us with ours, but it was always good to sit down, have fun, and just talk about life. Of course, we'll play with some puppies, and they are absolutely the cutest things. Since then, they have grown enormously, and life just happens and it's crazy. Oh, and actually didn't come out too bad. Cool. Now, moving on to March, I was able to go to the Scribe Gala, which was one of Scott's jobs. He is in tech consulting and software. It's kind of hard to explain, but he helps with programs for certain companies, teaching them how to use the product, how to use their certain services. And so one of his jobs back in the day was working for Scribe. So we had the pleasure of going to the Scribe Gala. Also, too, I'm trying to also talk about 2019 and do makeup at the same time, but I'm actually going to conceal now with the Maybelline New York Fit Me concealer in shade 20, which is Sand Sable, just to be able to cut out the eyebrows and make them more defined. But the Scribe Gala was honestly really fun. We got dressed to the max in our suits, picture right here. And honestly, it was a great time. Big smiles all around, kept getting looks, and it was the most amazing time. I actually ran into a couple people I knew from school, which was fun. Us there with our significant others and just all having a good time. I will say a couple times during the night it was really fun. I actually ended up saving one of Scott's friends, apparently, who didn't want to be in a conversation. I just naturally tapped on her shoulder because I needed help, and I guess she was in a conversation she didn't want to be. So of course she thanked me, and the rest of the night was not a blur, but it was definitely fun dancing the night away. So now I'm going to just take this concealer brush and carve out my brows. Also, part of March was when I actually had released my first YouTube video last year, and I'm trying to think. It was about me explaining what I want to do on YouTube, just explaining and kind of doing like a little intro of what I'm going to be doing, what's to be expected, which has been nice. It was definitely a long time coming, and I wanted to make it lighthearted and not so serious, because a lot of people know me, I am not serious whatsoever. I can be, but for the most part, I'm a fun-loving guy and always have a big heart. But with my YouTube, it's been slower only because life goes on, and unfortunately, this is not a full-time thing. I'm not getting paid for this, no endorsed, so I do it when I can, and it's my hobby. And honestly, it's a hobby that I can see myself going really far in, which I love. It allows me to have this platform to be able to do what I love and show the world, and not like in a showy way, but just get content out there that maybe people haven't seen and bring something new to the table, which is something I definitely feel I have. Being in school, especially with sign language and being able to sign in New Hampshire, it's going to be a big need. And I definitely just want to be able to vlog and document my process, my journey through it. And I'm excited to have you guys with me. Also, too, with having this platform, it also gives others more of a chance to see different diversity throughout the makeup community, sign language, music, anything and everything. And I'm excited to be able to contribute what I can as content, the table of content, which I still can't believe that I actually figured out that name. I was going to name it something else. I can't even think of it now, but the table of content, just for whatever reason, came to me and seemed like a sure thing. And since then, I've been writing up content, practicing, and filming. Actually, it doesn't look bad. And doing different things, but I definitely am very excited to be back on here. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little bit more concealer underneath my eyes to get that shine, along with in the forehead. Now, for those of you that I'm sure do makeup that have seen this, that is, you want to highlight certain parts of your face, and so between the forehead and underneath the eyes, I've been watching a few videos on how to do makeup and whether or not this causes controversy. Jeez, I can't even speak. Don't care. I actually started watching James Charles last year, 2 years ago, and I can definitely say that it's obviously everybody has scandals, everybody has opinions, but he was somebody that I looked to just to start off. It was his makeup looks are very inspiring, and being a makeup artist, I totally respect. Okay, so now that we have that done, which is actually looking pretty good, now we're gonna start chiseling out the cheeks with some contour. For contour today, I'm actually going to be using the e.l.f. contour palette, and I'm going to be dipping into this lighter shade right here. Don't want to go too dark, only because I've learned that it is easier to go lighter and then can always go darker. So I'm not going to cake it on and then look like a complete chiseled face. So I'm just going to do it a little bit light, give it that nice kind of softer glow, which is what I'm kind of aiming for. I'm not going over the top like drag, which you'll definitely see me do on here, but this is just kind of like an everyday kind of look. I wish I could wear makeup every day, but as most of us know, it is very expensive and don't have the money for that. So for now, I am doing what I can to practice my makeup, practice my craft, and so far so good. Honestly, I haven't had many complaints. Art is always evolving, and therefore makeup is, so there is not really a right or wrong way to do it. You just think of what you want to look like and you make it happen. And the best part is that I do have a not makeup, I have an art background, and so going into makeup as just another medium, it was nice because I kind of knew like the whole gentle touch, how to blend, how to do different techniques that between painting, drawing, sketching, it definitely helps you out. So you're able to literally paint your face and paint what you like on. So with that, it definitely helps to have that kind of background. But even if you don't come from a artistic background, I said artistic, watch yourself. And having that kind of background definitely helps. But even if not, you can just pick up a brush, start going ham. And like I said, the best part is it's not permanent, so you can fix up how you want. Cannot tell you how many times I've actually messed up and had to restart. It's definitely been a pain in the ass, but hey, that's the best part about makeup, restart. So now I'm actually going to dip into this darker shade to darken my darken my cheekbones just a little bit to get that definition and that glow. Keep forgetting sometimes that I'm having to reminisce back into 2019. Sorry about that. Kind of not really. Also, part of February, went to this drag roast down in Boston. It was a kick-ass time. It was actually my second drag event. The first one was Christmas Queens back in 2018, and that was spectacular. So going to this was even funnier, just seeing them roast each other. I actually had one of my favorite queens on there, Miss Cracker from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. She absolutely slayed in the competition, and just like in person, she absolutely kills it at the comedy. See, kind of going on with that glow. Now time for contour the nose, which is definitely an art form. So I'm just going to be going in with this skinnier brush in the same lighter shade just to be able to chisel out my nose. But the drag roast was really fun. I definitely see a new side of some drag queens with the comedy that I didn't think had it, but overall it was a very fun time. And although the theater was small, the laughs were still loud, and actually ran into one of my buddies that I had met after moving back from Plymouth and back down to Merrimack, my hometown. And so it was good seeing him. He was there with some friends, and of course, we all are fans of Drag Race. He actually got me into Drag Race, which was fun. So it was good to see him there and have that experience. Now, of course, in March, St. Paddy's Day, and yes, I'm Irish, and so of course I had to celebrate my heritage, go down to Boston with some pretty great friends, as you'll see here. Had a great time. It was my second time down in Boston for St. Paddy's Day, so I figured why not go back. The troubling part with contouring your nose is that you don't want to make it too dark on the sides, and you don't want to make it like too narrow because you want to make sure you can look like you breathe. So the trick that I've learned is to just go as light as you can and try to find the shine with your lighting, so we can kind of see how it's darker on one side and lighter towards the center. Still makes it look a bit bigger, but that's where you add a lighter shade for highlight. What do you think? Good? Honestly, I've recently gotten this new camera setup and I'm absolutely loving it because I can actually see what I look like and not just have to be talking to a camera and wondering. That way I don't have to hit so many restarts and actually see what it looks like. But it's actually going pretty well. Now I'm going to take this lighter shade and just go down over the bridge of my nose just to get a little bit of lighter so it pulls it all together and just looks snatched. Along with highlighting the nose, you're going to want to highlight the brow bone, just the slightest bit of white towards the tail, just be able to highlight that brow bone and pull it all together. Moving on to the end of March was my nephew's baptism. Now, no, my younger brother, who's my only brother by blood, does not have a kid. It was actually one of the brothers from the fraternity who recently had a kid, and I'm kind of like the gunkle, which is fun. So I absolutely love watching him grow up, and at the end of March was his baptism. Got to see a few friends, meet his family, meet him and his girlfriend, now fiance's family, and so it was great to meet them, go down, see friends. Funny story, actually, locked my keys in my car, and thankfully my sunroof was cracked, so I was able to actually stick I think it was some sort of rod or hanger to be able to press the unlock button to be able to get in my keys. Had help with my buddies, and they definitely were a hoot to go along with that. One trick I actually learned with doing this kind of softish look is to use contour actually as eyeshadow just to make it a little bit more defined so that way it's not all one tone. And especially with contouring the nose, it just looks like I have two stripes on either side. But if you bring it up and into the eye, it makes it look that much more defined. So that was the end of March, which is hilariously funny. And surprisingly, didn't even start the April Fool's joke. But moving into April, not too much. It was a little bit more laid back, which was the nice part. And having the family around again for Easter. A few of them met Scott again, which is great. Went out to Easter lunch after going to church with my mom and brother. We had gone to Massa. It was great. So going out, getting live hibachi is always fun. If you haven't been, I would definitely recommend going. It's this nice little spot in Manchester. If you have never had hibachi, it's definitely an experience. A little costly, but again, so worth it. The food is bomb. So I'm just going over lightly with my eyebrow and actually winging it off to the side so that way it pulls my eye up and doesn't look so drooped. Also, every year in April is Plymouth Spring Fling, so I had the opportunity to go up and hang out with friends. I didn't really go to the spring fling portion. I just went to the rave, which is always fun. So I was able to get together the brothers, sisters, and just have a great time. It's definitely different going back after graduating and always seeing some of the same spots, same shit, different people. But then again, it's always Plymouth, and it will always be my second home away from home. Always go up there, always have a fun time, and more recently, it's been nice to go back to the college and see how the fraternity is progressing and how Greek life is. Just for a long time, I was the advisor, and more recently, I've taken a step back so that way I can focus more on my life. And not to say I don't care about them, but it's just a lot to handle, balancing a lot with school, work, and having to care for the fraternity. So I took a step back, and now I'm still part of the picture, just more from a distance. One thing, strange enough, I never actually did before doing all this contour is actually lock this in, and so I'm going to be using, again, Maybelline Fit Me in the loose powder. This one is in 25 medium, okay, closest to my skin tone, but this just helps to lock down my foundation, and honestly, it is itchy as hell right now, and just need that to help lock down. So you figure like a powder with your pores, it helps to sink those in and to make it look more complete. As obviously I go throughout my makeup journey and interpreting, drag, everything, I'm going to be getting better at the lingo, so excuse me if I'm not completely caught up to date. So this will just lock that in. So now again, just continuing on with the eye just to bring that wing up. Moving on from April and going to May, I was able to go to Plymouth Graduation. Got to watch one of my best friends walk across that stage and get her diploma. More like a piece of paper, but you get the diploma later. But it was great seeing her accomplish this, going through so much in school and coming out on top. Obviously, being a art major is not easy, but she's always persevered, and that's what I admired most about her. Absolutely love her to death. One of my best friends. Along with, actually before graduation, was IDX Formal, which is the sister sorority. I'm the unicorn of the year, so I was kind of like the guy that was able to support them and help them with a lot while I was in school. And so being the reigning unicorn, I was able to go back up and have a blast of a weekend with the girls up in Maine. We stayed at this nice cabin that had its own pool table out back by the lake. It's gigantic yard, hot tub too, which was nice because it was just getting out of the cooler season, but still a little cold, which was nice. So it kind of got to have fun with that. So you see how it kind of like defines my eye, makes it a little bit more easier to see. But along with May, was Plymouth Graduation and actually my mom's birthday, which is great. So we got to celebrate that and see her. It was good because I hadn't seen her in a while, and so being able to sit down and have a meal with her, cooked by moi, and of course it turned out great, and just being able to see her again, it was great to have her around and have her see the place, and she always loves coming by because she always says it's so homey and fun. Getting the last minute touches on that. Now moving on, I think last would be lips. Actually, no, technically last would be eye mascara. One of my favorite months, of course, being June, is Pride Month. With that, so much rainbow, so much LGBT history, influence, and a lot of great times. I actually went down to Boston for my second Pride event, and it was great. This time I actually got to dress up in drag, go out with friends, and have a spectacular time. I definitely understand what it takes to get ready as a woman and to walk around a city in heels because my feet wanted to die after all that. I just worn the simple heels, but still walking throughout the city. I made it. It was definitely a challenge, but I wanted to see if I could do it, and I did. Obviously, during the day, I was dressed up. During night, I was able to get back into regular boy self and kill it. Went out with a few friends to a couple bars. It was definitely a fun time. It was definitely a different experience from my first time, but then again, because I haven't been in the community and the scene so long, it's definitely great to grow throughout the years and see different outlooks and what each pride has and what each part of it represents, which is nice. Fossil had actually come out with a Pride watch, which I'm so excited about. I don't have it on me, but I will show it sometime soon. It was one of the first collections they've done, which is great. So it had a rainbow band, and then on the inner dials was all accented with a rainbow. It was only out of, I believe, 1,000, and mine was definitely on the lower numbers, but I'm excited I was able to get it. For lips, just some simple Ulta Beauty, let me see, creamy lip gloss, cool, and shimmer, just to add a little bit more definition to the lips. But that was definitely a fun time. Definitely great to see my job supporting the LGBT community and coming out the watch. Actually watching through the commercials, a famous drag queen by the name of 𝙊𝙪𝙩𝙧𝙬 was actually a spokesperson for it. Let's go down the Cupid's bow. And was rocking it as always with her 𝙊𝙪𝙧𝙬 personality. So absolutely loved it. And lastly, just adding a little bit of shimmer. But overall, Pride Month was definitely fun. Along with the Boston Pride, I went to Manchester Pride, which is one of the first events I've been to here. It was just something small, just because it's not a huge community, but still, it was great to see all the spirit and support coming from the city and all the different personalities come out. I actually had worn some of my favorite heels, and you'll see it actually right here. Kept getting compliments on them, and people were just curious and crazy about them. Definitely felt better about myself, and obviously, since coming out, I've had this new persona of being able to show my true colors and being able to not let stereotypes define what I wear or what I do, and that's one of the best parts is that I love the more androgynous side of drag and makeup, so that way you can kind of toss between looking more female or male, which is why not doing anything crazy here, just something nice and simple. After Manchester Pride, there was a drag brunch at a local bar that actually closed down, but they're actually reopening. Their name is 𝙊𝙩𝙩𝙧𝙬 and is owned by this amazing couple who host drag brunch, different events, very Southern style, and you can definitely see with them, they just hone Southern hospitality, always welcoming and never discriminating. Actually, I met them during my birthday because I actually share a birthday with one of Scott and I's good friends, him and his boyfriend. We actually both of us share the same birthday, so we actually went there on our birthdays just for some drinks and to hang out. That was my first time there, and it was absolutely amazing. Instant smiles, instant feeling of inclusiveness, and just being able to not be judged. So just finishing up with the Voluminous Lash Paradise. Not so much into labels, and obviously when I get better at this I'll try different makeup, but I've been using this for a little while now, but just to add a little bit of flair to the lashes, but overall looks to be showing up pretty well. I'm actually surprised how fast that actually went through. So now I get to just chat with you guys. So in July was when I went to Fort Foster. It is a beach in Maine. It was my first time there, and it was great. I got to go with Scott and his family. It was just one big family trip. It was absolutely beautiful. The beach was breathtaking, along with the light post out in the distance. Here's actually a picture of Scott and I just to get a visual of the lighthouse. It was absolutely gorgeous. Went to this local restaurant that's popular called When Pigs Fly. I personally never been there, but it seemed to be a hot spot. They have a great bakery. I actually tried some of their bread, which is absolutely amazing. Took some home. But just overall, great experience. To actually finish this look, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Morphe X Spray Finishing Mist, and this actually smells just like strawberry, which is amazing. So just giving myself a quick spritz so I can lock this in. Oof. Tastes good. Towards the end of the month, we were able to celebrate Scott's birthday, which was great. Had family friends come over. I was able to cook, get on the grill. It was a beautiful day outside. We're all just able to be there and celebrate Scott's birthday. 1 year left, and he turns to big 3-0. But that was a blast, along with going camping with his family. It was more specifically the cousins. It was a bunch of couples and just various cousins that went up to Sebago Lake. It was, again, my first time up there, and I had a blast tenting it out, and it's been different, but it was all of us together, which is great. We were a 2-minute walk from the beach, and just we were able to relax and have a nice, enjoying weekend. Into August now, towards the end of the year, and people are getting ready to go back to school. Summer slowly fizzling out, but still have some few more good weekends left. We were able to celebrate my brother's birthday. He rented out a house with his friends and had a actually midsummer party. We were able to have a small group go together for just the one Friday night, and then everybody came over Friday. Here's a few videos and such. It was absolutely an amazing time, and just be able to see everybody that I haven't seen in a couple of years, both Plymouth and Merrimack friends and everybody in between. Scott was able to meet a bunch of friends that I hadn't introduced him to but always talk about. Everybody was so welcoming, and it was just a great time. Obviously, having a bunch of college kids in a house, it can stir some things up, but everybody maintained their cool, no drama, nobody getting too drunk or rowdy. Everybody was respectful and absolutely had a blast. Along with my brother's birthday was a couple of my best friends, Alex and Eric. They just recently got a house with their youngest one, Owen, and we had a housewarming party, which was, again, a blast, seeing friends that I hadn't seen in a while. These ones more specifically Plymouth, just because we had all gone to school there, so it was great getting back to see them. Getting a chance to see everybody again was just great. I hadn't seen them in a while, and some of it was a little bit of going away because one of them will actually be moving. But overall, it was a great time. As September rolls around, we're, like I said, going into the school season. I personally started with NCC for community college. I just need to take a couple classes to be able to transfer back into my program. I'll save the long story, but I needed to transfer a couple classes to get back into my interpreter's program that I couldn't take at the school. So they said as long as I take it at another accredited college, I just transfer my credits and I'll be able to continue, which is what I'm doing this spring, but that's coming later. Along with school starting, I was able to take a few photo shoots, which was great. One of them being Owen, just to be for the fall. He looked absolutely cute with all of his little plaid and his little poses. Absolutely amazing kid, literally a mini me of his dad, Eric, and hopefully some of Alex, because that kid's going to grow up to be something else. So I'm sorry, parents, just watch out. The second was a senior photo shoot for actually Alex's cousin, who had just seen some of my work, and the mom actually wanted to ask me about it. And so I couldn't say no, only because I love different material and I love being able to hone my skills and practice. And that was absolutely a fun time. We're all able to go to a pumpkin patch, go out in the pumpkin field, go through the different orchards, and it was absolutely a great time. Beautiful day for fall, and I'm so glad the weather hang up because the pictures came out amazing. Moving into the holiday season, coming October, spooky season, my absolute favorite time of the year. Halloween movies, haunted attractions, and scaring the absolute crap out of people. One of my favorite times. I actually had dyed my hair on the first day of October, and since then it is actually still kept, which I'm so excited about. Here is kind of what it looked like when I was just getting it done. But overall, I still think it had come out amazing. And although it's not as silvery as before, one of my good friends, her name is Sam Ahern, she actually did this. She works as a stylist at Lavish Salon, and I believe it's in Londonderry. So if you ever want to get your hair done, your flip did, or just looking great as many people she's touched upon, I will definitely recommend her. She's done my hair, a few of my friends' hair, and always looking great as usual. So bravo to you, Sam. You've come a long way, and I'm so proud of all you're doing. Thank you for this, and thank you for making this part of actually my October makeup look for Halloween. Moving on in the month, we actually were able to celebrate Owen's first birthday, and I couldn't believe he was already 1 year old. It feels so long since the time I found out that Alex and Eric were pregnant, all the way down now until it was his first birthday, and I just couldn't believe how fast he was growing up. The kid is amazing. He's so cute, so smart, and definitely takes after his parents. But to be able to celebrate that 1 year birthday with his family, friends, and it was just great to see everybody again. It was great being able to celebrate Owen's birthday and just being around to show love and support. Towards the end of the month, of course, is my favorite, which was Halloween. Halloween, just like in years past, has always been my favorite holiday. Always get to dress up as something different. And for the past couple years, I've been messing around with makeup and doing drag. Here's actually a picture of my first time in drag as Miss Veronica La Force, the drag name I came up with. Again, just like Table of Content, it just comes to me. I was playing on Ronnie, and so Veronica, and then actually La Force is part of a saying on the Haitian flag, L'union fait la force, which means unity makes strength. So my name is literally Veronica Strength, which I think fits. So last year I had the help of my amazing friend Emily doing my makeup and helping me transform into this amazing woman. This year I was able to do it myself and actually put Scott into drag for the first time, and it was an amazing time practicing and getting ready for the big day. Of course, tensions were high and of course nerves were on edge, but overall I think the looks came together beautifully. Everybody was in awe and just couldn't believe how the hosts were dressed. Our parents actually met for the first time, and that was very anxiety filled and nerve wracking, but overall it was a great time. Everybody got along, everybody loved the looks. I was actually surprised with some of the reactions that I was not expecting. I was expecting a little bit of not animosity or anger or hate, but just like maybe surprise. But overall, everybody welcomed it with open arms and just had a great time. And that's why I'm so happy for. Getting towards the end of the year, going into November, I was able to be a part of one of my best friends growing up, Kristina, her baby shower. She had just recently gotten married and now is expecting a kid later on this year, which I'm so excited. We actually got to camp well over 10 years ago, lost contact, then finally somehow found contact with each other and then have been great friends ever since. The Julia to my Romeo. We had lost touch and then just had found contact again, and we didn't realize we were so close. And so it's been great growing up and seeing her through all this. I just can't wait for the little one to be here and just be able to hold him, because I know that she's looking forward to being a mother. She's always wanted to be one, and I know that she's going to be a great one. Kind, caring, sweet as pie, and of course having that nice Italian heritage about her. That baby will come out cuter than anything, and I'm jealous as hell. Later on during the month, I actually had the opportunity to go down with my boss to New York for a fossil pop-up during the holiday season, just to show off some of our newer branded items, some of our smartwatches, some of our leather bags and trinkets. It was just like a nice pop-up, and it was definitely a great time. We were able to go down and chill with our district manager and meet a few other managers from the fossils around our district. It was great meeting them and seeing their perspective on different fossil products and how they run their businesses. Later on, too, along with Fossil, we did celebrate our holiday party. It was amazing. The staff we had going to the holiday season was stronger than ever, and having the associates we do and the management coming from me, our other third keys, ASM and manager, it was absolutely so much fun having this party, seeing everybody laugh, smile, tell jokes. Also, too, part of November is my best friend Emily's birthday. So we actually found an Airbnb down in Boston at a brownstone, which is amazing. I would recommend it 10 out of 10. Definitely had a bunch of fun going on the night of town. Always in Boston, it's always fun. And with this group of people, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Emily was able to celebrate her birthday being surrounded by love and support of her best friends, and it was definitely a great time. And of course, with Thanksgiving, it's always a busy time, especially having multiple families to go with. And one thing I actually got to mention in October is my dad selling the house. It was the house that I grown up with my younger brother, and where I had spent a lot of my childhood, and it was hard to see that go, but it was definitely time for it. Both kids are out of the house. It's a big house and not needed for just two people. So my dad and his girlfriend were able to sell that, and it was absolutely great seeing them fix up the house and finally move on and be able to do what they love. Thanksgiving was definitely a blast, being able to have it with my mom, go out, see family, see Scott and his family, have Thanksgiving with them. It was definitely a new experience and everybody was welcoming. It was great meeting new people and seeing some familiar faces, which made me a little bit more comfortable, but ultimately it was a great time. To cap it off, I celebrated my 1 year with Scott, and it was definitely a long year. Ups, downs, triumphs, and tribulations, and I'm so glad to have had him. It was a bumpy year, but I'm glad to have had the support I have from him, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. Bringing us now to the last month of 2019 and the decade, we started off with Alex and Eric getting engaged. It was absolutely amazing and so fantastic to be part of something as huge as an engagement. It all started off with a text asking if I could take pictures from a distance, turned into being secret engagement pictures, and ultimately a video, which is right here, which I was so scared we weren't going to get, but right here you see it, him down on one knee asking the girl of his dreams to marry him, and I am so glad we were able to capture that on camera and be a part of that amazing experience. And we're going out to the Lucky Dog, a local bar in Plymouth, and being able to see friends and being able to celebrate the newly engaged couple. What a way to start December off. Of course, with the busy season, business is busy as usual. And so leading up to Christmas, it was absolutely crazy with all the shoppers and everybody wanted to get their last minute gifts. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better team, and being in management, I was able to help more than I could have. And I absolutely love being able to have a hand and a voice in how we run the business. Last year, I had the opportunity to actually celebrate Four Christmases, which was a movie that I had seen before with Vince Vaughn and a few other actors going through two divorced parents' families. This time it was just both my parents and then one close family with Scott and then one with all the families. So all four was absolutely crazy. So of course, going through all that craziness with Christmas, it was nice to relax for a good week, and then able to ring in the new year with a Soaring 20s party hosted by my brother and a few of his roommates. Absolutely amazing time. It was great seeing everybody, and again, introducing Scott to so many people and seeing a lot of my very close and dear friends, being able to meet him and celebrate their new year with grand party. Absolutely amazing time. New Year's party was absolutely amazing. Being able to take pictures of everybody. My mom actually came and visited, which was great. Just seeing people who she's watched grow up between Merrimack and a few Plymouth friends. Ultimately, it's just great being able to see her and have her be around everybody and, of course, have a great time. Now being into January of the new year, it's gone by a little fast. We're in the third week already and actually 1 week away from my birthday, which I'm excited about. 26, nothing special, but then again, another year. And actually today is my first day of being back to school for my interpreters program. Very excited to get going on this journey again and finish. I only have 1 year left, and that's just within arm's reach. I can't wait to finally be done school, get on with my career, and just dive into the whole interpreting field. Along with makeup, I've been doing signing to songs and different material, and I'm so excited to be able to share that with you guys and share my journey as an interpreter on their way. Like a lot of people, we always have our resolutions, and a few of mine is to be healthier. That's in more than one way. To eat healthier, sleep more because I've been spending way too many nights up just watching TV and being mindless. Be more active. I'd love to go to the gym more. I just don't as much, and I really just want to get back to that regular routine of being healthy with myself. Of course, being in a relationship for so long, you definitely get more grounded and secure, and I love being able to focus on my mental and emotional health and having that person there to be able to talk to if I'm having a bad day or if things make me anxious, just to be able to have that love and support from someone to be able to support you and not judge you for anything, and just to be able to be completely open, transparent, and honest. Absolutely love that. And although it challenges me so much to be this open and vulnerable, it's definitely one of the best perks I love about adulting, and specifically adulting with Scott, is that I can be my most authentic self with him without any judgment and unconditional love, which I absolutely adore about him, is that he doesn't judge me for anything. Just having that all around support is what I love most about him. Also, part of my resolutions is I want to do more of what I love. During 2019, I was very focused on getting back on my feet and being able to focus on work, and then moving into school and just getting my life back on track. 2018 was a rocky year. 2019 is getting back on my feet, and this year is going to be my year. So I just want to very much get back to what I love doing between art, reading, doing more makeup, signing songs, getting content out there for you guys, which is why I've definitely stressed trying to get this video up and going, because if I don't start, I'm just going to get unmotivated, and I want to be more motivated in the new year. Of course, with practicing more makeup comes drag, which is something I want to work on. Obviously, it's not going to turn anything full time right now, but obviously if I have the time and money to, I will do more drag looks, and I will pursue that a lot more. It is something I've thought about for a while, just for my love of entertainment, art, and just everything about it culminating into this whole area of entertainment where I feel I could shine is what I'm most excited about to get going in 2020. Things I definitely need to cut back on, sweets for one. I just wanted to be able to be more healthy, and my teeth have definitely been the one area that I've had the most insecurities about, and so having the wisdom teeth out, plan is to get them a little more straighter and then eventually get them whiter, and it's kind of hard to see, but I do have stains on my teeth. Never stopped me from giving my $1,000,000 smile, but again, it has always been an insecurity of mine that I've had, and something that I do hope to fix within the next few years. So that'll be something that'll take time and money, but things will fall into place, which is what I'm hoping for. Lastly is just more of what I want to do, and my saying for this new year is just do it. I know that's a saying from Nike and it's heard a lot, but that's my quote of the year is just do it. For 2018, it was patient endurance to get myself back together and just take one step at a time. Last year, with a new relationship, it was grow as we go, which is also the name of a famous song. And this year, it's just do it. If I want to play with makeup, I'm going to do it. If I want to be healthy, I'm going to do it. If I want to live my life, I'm going to do it. And so that will be my quote of the year. I thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope that this inspires you to work towards your resolutions, play with your makeup, and just make 2020 your year. I look forward to making more content and making more videos for you guys. I'm looking forward so much this year, and I'll be pushing out as much as I can. For now, I do have to get back to class, but I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.